This is the Pulaski Planner, your retirement lookout. I'm Katherine Kirchner, and this is your guide to the financial strategies and career wisdom of public land professionals. Thanks for tuning in. Hey everyone, I wanted to make this video and this recording for all of you who are processing the news and the information about the reorganization that was dropped earlier this week. I know there's a lot of emotions running high and people considering what's right for them for their next steps. Some people thinking that this may mean the end of their chapter with the agency and looking for other opportunities. Perfectly understand those considerations, that feeling, and I wanted to help walk you through a couple of financial considerations to help you with that process, right? So in this video, we're going to talk about 4 rules or 4 considerations you want to run the numbers on for you and your situation to see what makes the most sense. Let's get into those. All right. Number 1, that's going to be the it may be a possibility for you to qualify for discontinued service retirement. So there's been some confusion about if I leave, am I quitting? If I'm asked to move and I don't want to move, do I qualify for unemployment? A lot of questions. So let's take for example, let's say you work in a regional office in Atlanta and your position is being moved, but you don't want to go, right? So if you refuse a geographic reassignment, you're not technically legally quitting. You are facing an involuntary separation. This is this could trigger what OPM calls the discontinued service retirement. To qualify, you have to be at least 50 years old and have 20 years of creditable service, or 25 years of service at any age, right? And so one thing that people miss is that this does grant you an immediate annuity, and that would allow you to qualify for keeping your health insurance, which is obviously a huge benefit. So that's something to consider if you qualify. All right. The next thing you want to consider is that if you have decided that you're done and you're going to leave, see if you can be paid to leave and try not to quit for free. Right. So before the agency starts forcing people to move or instituting RIFs, they will see if they can get people the head count down voluntarily. So there's 2 possibilities that might be offered. One would be VERA, voluntary early retirement, or voluntary separation incentive, which is the VSIP, right? So if you are offered VERA, it is similar to the DSR, and it lowers the retirement threshold age to 50 with 20 years of service, or any age at 25 years of service, and that would allow you to qualify for your immediate annuity and keep your health insurance. The VSIP is a literal buyout, right? This is the government paying you to resign or retire early. And so that payout is capped at $25,000. Could be less, but it's capped at $25K. And so that would be better than leaving for free. Third thing that you want to consider is if you are a mid-career Fed and you have 15 years of service, you're fully vested in your FERS, and you're looking at doing a deferred pension where you quit now and you leave your contribution in FERS, and then you're going to take it when you qualify in the future. This could be a good plan, but you want to run the numbers to make sure that you understand that this pension will not have a COLA, meaning a cost of living adjustment, in the time that you're waiting from when you leave and when you start taking that annuity, right? So I have put together a scenario in our financial planning software that kind of demonstrates that. And if we run the numbers on a hypothetical mid-career professional, we'll call him Ed Pulaski, and if his high 3 salary was $100,000 and he was in for 15 years, using his multiplier for the FERS, we're looking at a $15,000 FERS annuity for him once he starts taking it at 62. So to look at that, I'm going to pull up another screen real quick. Bear with me. Okay. So what you see here is the value of that annuity, assuming he lives to 100. That's what the the years show there. And our gentleman is 42, and so he's gonna take his deferred pension this year, and he's gonna turn it on when he's 62. But what I want to turn on for you is look at the impact of inflation on this, because it's not keeping pace. There's no cost of living adjustment. If we turn that on, you'll see that when he turned that on in 20 years, the value of that pension has dropped to just over $9,000, which is what the purchasing power is after accounting for roughly 3% inflation during those 20 years, right? So these are the kind of scenarios we can run for our clients whenever they come to us and want to know when I can retire, how much can I retire, is my FERS annuity and my TSP balance going to get me to the end of my plan? And, add factors like a family and a spouse. We can do all that. And I just wanted you to consider that this may not mathematically make sense for you, depending on your situation and what you're going to do in the interim between, those 20 years where you're no longer with the feds. Okay. So now that we walked through that, let's go and look at the last thing to consider. This has to do with your health insurance. So this is about remembering that in order to keep your health insurance, when you retire, you have to qualify for an immediate retirement annuity and be continually enrolled in the health insurance for 5 years prior, right? And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through kind of quickly a list of the options that count as a immediate annuity that would allow you to keep your health insurance benefit. All right. Now, if you decide that you're going to leave anyway and you don't care, there's an option, the temporary continuation of coverage for up to 18 months, but you will be paying 102% of a premium out of pocket, which for most people doesn't make sense. So there's the voluntary standard option, which is where you're 62 with 5 years of experience or age 60 with at least 20 years of service. Then there is the VERA or DSR option where that lowers the retirement age, right? So then you can be 50 with 20 years of service, or you can be any age with 25 years of service. There's also, switch that over here for you. The options 3 and 4 that would also count are the minimum retirement age plus 10 years of service, right? Do remember that if you are going to take that option, there is a 5% penalty reduction to your FERS for every year that you are below 62, and that's permanent. So keep that in mind if that's an option that you are looking at. And then the last option for our special provision folks like law enforcement and wildland fire is the age 50 with 20 years of creditable service, covered service in that designation as special provision, or any age with 25 years of service. So those are, if any of those sound like you, and you're thinking about taking your exit sooner rather than later, just make sure that you qualify for one of those immediate annuities so that you can keep your life insurance. Okay, so now that we've run through all of that, I'm going to wrap up, and I'm just going to remind you all that this is a good time to prioritize self-care. I know that sounds woo-woo, but it's been a tough year and change, and people are struggling, and we understand that. And we just remember to be there for yourself, be there for your family and your for-service family. And don't forget to run the numbers. That there's a lot of things that are outside of our control, but there are some things that are inside our control, and we want to make sure that we are looking at those carefully before moving forward with significant decisions. And if needed, if it makes sense, there are professionals who can help you run these numbers. Myself and my team are some of those professionals, and we're here for you if that makes sense as well. In the meantime, stay safe out there. Thanks. I'm Catherine Kirchner, the Pulaski Planner, and follow me for more insights on how you can manage your personal financial resources the same way you steward our public lands.